Hi, everybody! Welcome to the first ever episode of Not Safe for Wednesday. And I am your host, Lo-Fi. And with me, I have my lovely co host, Kadant.
Hello.
Today's special topic is BDSM, because me and Kadant have a lot of knowledge in that. So we're going to talk about that. And with us, we have a self proclaimed Dom, Antoine.
Well, we're just going to throw that right out on the table, aren't we? Yes.
mean-
Yes, I am.
Self-proclaimed anyway.
Well, the last two people I used it on were very happy about it.
Well, I am also a Dom, but I'm a Dom in a different way than I'm sure most people are aware of Doms being. I tend to specialize with sensations play or
And you can,
sensory play.
yeah,
I'm,
tell us what that is.
yes, go ahead.
So sensory play is blinding one and keeping them from being able to touch you. Blindfold and handcuffs or rope, whatever your choice is. And then it's all about being able to feel the different sensations of the different touches.
Enhancing their sensations by taking away one of their senses.
Yes, thank you. Better way to simplify it.
Um,
And
But that's the kind of play that I do. Like that I tend to specialize in and that I tend to do.
what about you, Antoine?
I'm, I guess you could say I'm a teaser. I push limits to the point, just push them past their point of pain and make sure they're enjoyable. But there's a lot of soothing over between toys and things like that. I specialize in spanking and paddles, and I used to have some whips, but my ex decided to keep them. So I lost my toy chest when I got divorced.
Why didn't you dom her and take your whips with you?
Right?
Yeah, you're the dom. You should just whipped her into shape.
If it were only so easy. Her entire family did not know what she was into. And I had made a promise to her as her husband at the time and as someone that she trusted that I would never reveal that to anyone. But now, since she has kind of dropped off the face of this planet with my son, I really don't give a shit. So, yes, she kept most of my toys, and I'm very upset about that.
What a massive cunt.
Yeah.
One
I mean,
could
I
say that.
still have my flogger.
Well, I haven't had a willing participant in a very long time.
Oh.
I know it's so sad. It's something that I was very, very good at. And let's just say the person that I'm with now is kind of intrigued after she found out about it. Like that's not something that's personal for me. When I find someone that wants me to do that with them, I create a bond with them. I get to know what they like. I get to know what they don't like. I get to push their limits, which is always fun. Um, but I make them a promise that if they're not comfortable with anyone knowing, that I keep it secret. So she never asked, and I never told her. And then it came out recently, about 2 weeks ago, that she asked me a question, and I answered honestly, and she was very, very much intrigued. So we had our first practice session, and she did pretty good. A little bit of disobeyment. She had a little bit of punishment, but she's very,
naughty.
she was very adverse to calling me sir. I'm very much into the whole you either call me sir or master, and that's it. You don't disobey, and you just do what you're supposed to be told. So that's my recent story.
That is the key
Yeah.
thing. I'm in the exact opposite end of the spectrum. I am the
Yeah, you're
sub, very much so.
like what
I'm
kind of
into
subplay do you like though?
I'm into the I go as far as pet play, where I am but a filthy pet who only has to do what master wants. And if I mistreat or am a naughty girl, he gets to punish me. Oh,
Now, how far do you go with the punishment?
okay. So best case scenario. Okay, best case scenario for me, I get naughty, and the naughtiest I want to be is that I get blindfolded and tied up, and just left in a room and teased. So at any point, I get flogged or I get dick, but I don't know when. And then I just left there for hours.
I've done that with my ex. I left her tied up to a table.
I've done
She
that.
and I left for like 4 hours.
That's the thing. That's the best.
So
I've done that, but I didn't leave. Like that was the thing is I didn't leave. I just sat there and then I went like walked around his apartment and I made myself some food and I just sat there and waited and then went over and just stroked my finger on his chest a little and he was flipping his shit. It was glorious.
Now, do you do you said sensations, so do you do hot cold type sensations, the feather,
Sometimes
or do
yes.
you don't just do full ball, leather and whips and chains, right?
No, I don't just do that. I tend to it's rare, it depends. I will every once in a while, like I used to have this uh it was like one of those little ice tubes or whatever that you would freeze in the freezer and then you could put it inside like a lunchbox or whatever. And I used to have one of those that I would freeze up and use and then like that would just the cold sensation. And I've done a couple sessions with wax play before
I
for
love
more or
wax
less the
play.
worm.
Now, okay, so there are two different types of waxes, right? There's the paraffin and then there's the regular candle wax. The paraffin
Yes.
cools a little bit faster.
Hmm.
Yeah, that gives you
Um,
cancer.
so I've found that unless someone has a very high pain tolerance, I can't use the regular candles. Now I can use the regular candles for other things, but that's the dripping of the wax is actually pretty painful. And so I had before my toy chest got taken away, I had I think 3 different candles. The one that was almost gone was the vanilla one. It smelled wonderful and it set the mood and everything like that. That is fun.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's so when you blindfold them and you leave them there. That's part of the session where I left for 4 hours. I wanted her completely confused, and I used the candle wax on her first. I didn't even, all she did was hear me come in. She didn't know it was going to happen. I used candle wax on her first, and it's the first time I think I had ever seen her orgasm without being touched. It
Yeah.
was too much. You get that overloaded sensation, and I'm not saying like she went off like a firecracker, but she definitely had one. And the
Mhm.
rest of that session was extremely fun. I felt
Oh
bad.
God, yeah.
I felt bad for the we were in a hotel. I felt bad for the cleaning crew after we were done with that one.
I've yeah, like I've done a couple of things. For some reason, I've always had the people who had just the regular wax candles because that's what they liked. They liked the slow burn,
Yeah.
and it was it was different for me to have to try and figure out like the best way because one of like my main rules was I do what I can. Like if I'm flogging you, I give you aftercare, which pretty much you rub the area in circular motions to help promote
you
circulation. And
and you soothe them.
yes, you soothe them as well as like keep from welts or marks from being formed.
Yes.
I don't want to be soothed. I want to be hurt more. Just
It really does depend on the submissive though.
yeah,
I've
it
had
Mhm.
does.
my ex. We started off soft, and then she started wanting more and more, and that's when we got paddles and the non-padded ones. I used an old trick that my grandmother used to punish my mom with. I took a ball paddle and just drilled holes in it and smacked her with that. She loved that. Um, it all depends on the submissive. Some of them need the aftercare. Others, say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" They don't want
Mhm.
the aftercare. What they want is the aftercare. After everything's said and done and the game is over, they want to be stroked and cuddled and told that they did a good job, which is what you're supposed to do anyway. You're supposed to let them know
Yes.
that everything is okay. Um, I feel like I'm talking so much more than the guests, or the host. I apologize,
Well,
but
You're the
thanks for
guest.
having
No,
us
it's
on
fine.
your new show, Antoine. I'm glad we are the guests now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm used to hosting. It's
No, it's fine. You get to talk for once instead of proper villains where you can't get a word in.
Yeah.
well, since we're talking quiet, Lo-Fi, you get to be a submissive over in the corner. Um, it's more or less the aftercare is most important. And when I was my current partner, when I was telling her about when she was asking about it, I said, believe it or not, the submissive is the one that has most of the power. Yes, the dom gets to do all the fun things, the submissive gets to experience all the fun things, but they have one particular word that shuts everything down. They have all of the power, and if they use that
Hmm.
word, game is over.
Yeah.
And I've had people that talk to me and their safe word is like stop. I'm like, no, you're a moron. You can't say stop, because if you say stop, I'm going to think we need to keep going. I'm going to push your limits. So
Yeah.
it can't be something simple. It has to be something that throws you off, where they said that word and it registers in your brain that you need to stop. One of them was pineapple, and then I'm not going to say my current partner's word, but it's actually really funny, and it would definitely throw me off if she said it.
Mine is Viking Rage.
That's because that's what you're starting to feel.
Yes, it is. That's when I get to the point. At some point I have to hit the perfect point when I get slapped. I get really angry, and that turns me on a lot. And but at some point, if it's wrong, I get just angry, and then I get really angry, and then I'm the dumb if you don't stop when I say Viking Rage.
Well, if they don't stop, that's a bad dom. They're
Yes.
supposed to stop. There's a borderline of sociopathy in being a dom. You have to have control. You want control. It's something that it turns you on. You crave it. If you pass that, you should no longer be a dom.
Yeah.
That is actually something we wanted to talk about today because there's a big misunderstanding in who has what power. And I'm not blaming any popular media, but there's
Oh, you mean 50 Shades of Grey?
yes,
Uh,
exactly.
Yes,
So
one of the worst examples of a dom sub relationship that there ever was. That was not a dom sub relationship.
no,
That was a
that's
sociopath.
yeah.
you fucking you guys have no idea how much 50 Shades of Grey triggers me, especially because like, it's it's done so wrong. Like there was no build of trust. There was
No,
no real build of communication or even like a rightful relationship with that whole thing. It was just like he got interested. He's obviously like a power tripping control fuck, and like fucking fuck. Oh, I fucking
yeah,
I'm
but it's
shaking.
such
I'm
an
so
issue.
mad.
It like even guys I've went out with who didn't read the book got the wrong idea because of former partners who did read the book and decided that okay, so BDSM is just you say what I do, and I don't have any say in it. So basically, just sexual assault me
Yes.
Yes,
whenever you want.
there was no fucking the whole non-disclosure agreement or whatever bullshit. Like there was no specifying that uh it was going to be, a sub-dom relationship or a slave master relationship or a pet master relationship. Like there was nothing like that, but he's trying to control every fucking aspect of her fucking life. Like at one point he even buys her place of work so that, and like texts her like, remember, I can I have the money to do whatever the fuck I want or whatever and shit like that. And there's real like hints of actual fear. Like she cringes a couple of times and it's just like that's an abusive relationship. That's not a sub-dom relationship. Sub-dom isn't all about, I'm going to smack you or I'm going to spank you if you don't, if you don't fucking do what I say. Like it's built on this level of trust, on this level of understanding and knowing, and like she's saying, oh, I'm gonna say that a no, and he's like, well, we'll put that in the maybe section. No, she said that's a fucking no. That's a fucking no. That is how this shit works. You don't fuck with a sub's wants. The sub is the one with the control. If you're Dom who cannot listen to what a sub wants, to what a sub needs, to what a sub desires, you're a shit Dom. And you
Exactly.
shouldn't be one.
Exactly. Now, and we're talking about sub dom. Now, you brought up slave master. A lot of
Mm.
people confuse slave master with sub dom. Now, they are in the same category. Slave master is a little bit different. That's where the person gives over complete control. But there's still that understanding that I'm not going to hurt you, but I am going to make you do things you don't like.
You need the trust. That's I cannot go to the slave master. I can go to the pet level, but I can't go the step further because I had too many bad experiences with people who went, oh, I just control everything. You don't have a say. It's like, okay, I'm gonna use the safe word, and then like one started laughing. I know my safe word is fucking stupid, but it's still, come on.
Yes, you have to listen to the safe word. You have to. It's there for a reason. And if you don't listen, you should. I personally get offended when I find out stories like that. When I find out stories of masters and doms that do not listen to their subs, that do not listen to the people that they're supposed to be taking care of, and that's exactly what you're doing. You're taking care of them. You're giving them you're giving them release just as you're getting release. So it's hearing about people who do that shit piss me off, and I want to take them all and just throw them off of a cliff. Because it's not fair to the people who actually enjoy it. When they find a bad dom, it scars them, and they may not want to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, Antoine. You know what happens when I get angry.
We don't talk about what happens when you get angry.
You can imagine the pain I inflict. Oh my god. And AV, the safe word is Viking rage for me, personally. Because that is what I feel, because I'm Danish.
I always let my subs choose a safe word. I've with each different sub that I've had, like depending on if they're like, well, I don't know, like, can I just say stop? And I'm like, I prefer if you didn't, mostly because like that then becomes a word that when I hear it, I will stop. But but like if that's what they want, then that's what they want, and that's what I let them have. Like my favorite safe words that a sub has used was raw.
Oh.
Because they're like I'm
The
flogging
ass
them
was raw.
Yeah.
well, it was his back. I never went for his ass. He didn't really want that. He wasn't sure if he wanted it, and so it was just a little test out kind of thing. Really good friend of mine. Um, and he just wanted to get flogged. That's all he wanted. He wanted me to flog him. He wanted to test out the flogger, so I tested it out. And I'm like, you have to choose a safe word. He's like, I'm just gonna say raw because when I start feeling my back is getting raw, then that'll, you know, and and, and he, like I got to wail on him for a while. It was really fun. And then he said raw, and then the aftercare came. Like I was mid swing too at one point when he was saying raw, and I fucking froze.
Oh, it triggers something in you. I don't like to hurt people. Now, I can cause pain, but hurt is
Mhm.
something
That's
different.
different.
And yeah, I don't like to hurt the people I'm with. I emotionally, physically, I don't like to do it. So if I know that they've used that safe word, I hurt them, and it shuts me down completely. And
Yeah.
I can't. And then the aftercare after that is, I'm sorry. What did I do? I'll never do it again. My ex, I used a paddle on her a little too hard, and she actually used her word, and The reason why, like I said, she was getting more and more into the pain part of it. Her backside was bleeding, and I didn't realize it. It was my last swing. I hit a little too low, and the padding had moved. I moved it to where I basically hit all wood. And
Yay.
yeah, it wasn't. She just said her safe word. She screamed her safe word, and um, uh, I'm not going to say that I like bought her 3 dozen roses as an apology, but I
Smacked
basically,
her right in the ass with.
but I basically, apologized. I gave her the best aftercare I could. I made sure she didn't need stitches. I cleaned her up and everything like that. And it's a very Lo-Fi said in the chat. It's emotional. It's very emotional.
Yeah, when you get
Yes.
to that point, it goes over the psyche as well, and if it gets too much, and you can see that in the shameful display that is 50 Shades of Grey. It's it that's psychological as much as it is physical. That's disgusting.
Mhm. It really is. Like that's the really fucked thing about it too. If with that book is, he psychologically like fucked with her and tried to control her because it's what he wanted, and that's not the subdom relationship. And I try to stress that as much as possible to people who. So I sell floggers and handcuffs, and people will see them and they're like, "Ooh, it's like the 50 Shades of Grey." And if I'm in a good mood, I'll just clench my teeth and smile and be like, "This is light play," like because they're fur-lined handcuffs. They're not meant for pain. Um,
Yeah,
but I want to stress it so hard. I feel like it's imperative for people who read these books and who have no idea about what this whole lifestyle is. They automatically think it's like, "Oh, you're going to spank me and you're going to do things that like you're going to push me beyond my limits." Which yes, that is a thing we can do, but we will help you explore your limits if it's something you want to explore.
and for some people, they don't want to explore it. Um, I started I started young getting into this, and it was because of an older woman. She wanted me to do certain things to her, and I really enjoyed that part of it. But she wanted me to like go full on rape play, and I did it.
Oh.
I did it because she wanted it, and after it was over, I said, "Don't ever make me do that again. I will never ever do that again." She wanted to be choked. She wanted to have a knife held to her throat. She wanted to
Wow.
be handcuffed. The whole 9 yards, and I freaked the fuck out afterwards.
That's another thing. I don't think there's so much many difficult interpretations of this fetish. Like people don't understand that the dom has a limit as well of how much they can dish out, and it really has to be planned to work properly.
Yes, but we were
I've
talking.
had. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say we were talking about emotional, and I was going to ask you, Kadan. Um,
Yeah.
with my current partner, they thought it was about sex, that I was going to make them do a bunch of things to me, and I was going to force them to give me a blowjob and things like that. I told her flat out, if there's sex involved, it's because you want it, not because I do. There've been
Yeah.
times when I've been in full on dom mode, and I've had my, it's a sexual release, but it's not necessarily I had an orgasm. There's been times I've been in dom mode where I've never even gotten any erection, and but I've had, it's some of those have been the most fun because I push when I'm in that mindset, I push their limits, and them getting off is what gets me off. Have you found that you
Yeah.
do the same thing, or is that just a guy thing? I don't know.
No, that's and that's actually one of the things that I found funny has kind of blended into, because I've never had intercourse with any of my subs. I was strictly trained that you do not have intercourse with your subs. Like it was a thing. And so like But I found that and them getting off, like I got off on the tease of it
Oh
and
yes.
on watching them squirm and struggle, and I found that like those wants and those desires and those needs like have kind of blended into what I want with my sex life, my actual like sorry, with my actual sex life, is that stuff has blended in and bleeded through, I guess would be the best way. Those wants of I have to have a guy finish or I can't completely finish. Like I have to see it's a thing, and I don't know how it's a thing.
It's
Um
because it's part of you. You can't get away from it. It's something that you enjoy. Um, I determine kinks and fetishes as two different things. A fetish is something that you need to get off. A kink is
yeah.
something that you enjoy. When you start in on this, when you start doing, I call it the game. I know a lot of people do as well, but when you start playing this game with people, you it becomes a part of you, and
Mhm.
something is in triggers in your reptile brain that you really enjoy this. So, like I said, I've been out of practice for a while, and we just started picking it back up, but it never left. I did the teasing thing with my current partner constantly,
Yeah.
and she loved it. I would do the denial. I love denial. It makes it so much better.
I'm a little jealous.
You know, because what I do is I learn the person I'm with. I learn their body. I listen. She made a joke once that I had a really serious face once when we were having sex, and I said
Yeah.
I'm learning about you. I'm watching your skin. I'm listening to your breath, your heartbeat. I'm listening to the movements of your body. She didn't understand, so I showed her, and I denied her for about 30 minutes, like bringing her just to the precipice and stopping completely. She hit me. Like
Can I?
she smacked me on the shoulder and told me not to do it again, so I did it two more times.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And when she finished, she said it was she said it was earth shattering, but remember this was early in our relationship, but it was one of those full body paralyzing orgasms. Like she locked
Yeah.
up, and
Ah,
it went on for a while.
See, the
I'm
thing
doing.
is, like, if it comes to like actual sex, oh, Lo-Fi's really enjoying this. But if it comes to like actual sex for me, I have to be dominated. Like that's the weird thing is like I make a really good dom because I listen, but like if it comes to a guy like plowing me, I need him to fucking like take
Yeah,
control and fucking plow me.
that's. I can't. I tried. I cannot dumb a guy. I start laughing. I'm sorry. Every sub that guy I've ever tried with, I'm sorry. I can't take it seriously. But when I've had a girlfriend, then I can dumb. Full outfit, Nazi outfit, everything, just whip and everything, and I do what they want. But if it's a guy and I prefer dick, I
Uh,
I need them to dominate me. I need it. I can. I have to. I have to be a filthy cum
That's
hole.
but that's the thing. Okay, so can you can agree or disagree, but most submissives are very controlled people. They are. It's like
Hmm.
the CEOs. CEOs, they're controlled of every aspect of their life every single day. They are the best submissives because they just want to let go. It's the same thing. They want to give someone else control. They want to let go. So, in your case, Grant, you want to let go. You want to feel what you've been giving. It's the same thing. You just want to let go. And it's
Well,
fine. It's sex. It's supposed to be good for everyone, and I think that's the main thing that everyone needs to take into consideration.
yeah, and that's the thing about it too is like a lot of people have this misconception that like obviously he's a CEO, therefore he's got to be a dom, and it's like no, no, the subs have all the control, and they have so much of the control, and they have to know. Like I've turned down a sub because he didn't know exactly what he wanted and exactly what he liked because I no, I don't have the I don't have the fucking like I'm here to listen to you. I'm actually pretty fucking like I work in customer service. So I'm pretty fucking meek
Let
and
me.
mild in my real life, which is what makes me a really good dom because I fucking listen.
Yes.
And my best subs have been the ones who are so in control and they have all this control and all this power in their life and they can still have all this control and power while feeling um powerless.
Okay, I'm gonna take over 2 seconds. Because
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a favor out and say goodbye to my artist. Good night,
Good
Dark Side.
night.
Thanks for
Good
drawing
night,
me
Dark
great
Side.
stuff. And good night, Avi, if you're
Good
going.
night. Good night,
Fucking
Dark Side.
awesome for you to join. Okay, back to the
Thanks for
topic.
joining.
That's the
Yeah.
thing, though. Like I actually saved. I have a notepad of what I want as a sub. I have everything lined out. I have places where I will make room if the dom has a specific fetish they want to throw in as well. And I'll say yay or nay. But I have everything is pre-planned when I go do stuff because we can have this willy-nilly. Some of this I like to be choked and such. Some of this stuff it can really get kind of damaging, and you don't want to just wing it.
Okay, so choking. How far do you go? Like, I'm not talking full on, fixation, but like, are we
I don't
talking?
die, Antoine.
Well, I
That's
would
my
assume
limit.
so since you're here. But so you want to be passed out and everything like that?
No, just before. If it darkens for my vision, then you stop. It's a fine line. You have to trust that person to get to that level because some people then you pass out and that's not that great. So you want to. It's right when the eyes start rolling back in your head. They have to let go.
See, I've never had someone who was into choking. Like the girl that I told you about that did the rape play, she liked choking, but after the situation she put me through, I couldn't do it. So I don't know. Like I don't know how to do that. So
No,
it's
it
always
takes practice.
more.
It's not. That's what that is like. I would never ever in the first many months of a relationship, unless I fucking knew the person as a fantastic choker, I would never spring that on a person because that for me is one of the biggest trust things where you have to go. I really need to know that this person is not like he knows or she knows what the fuck she's doing with this.
Because they literally hold your life in their hands at that point in
Yeah,
time.
and I don't. As much as I want to come, I don't want to come and die.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm always interested in learning new things about and being able to push limits and things like that. But like Don said, the dom has to be comfortable as well. So that's definitely, I would think, a serious trust issue for me. I don't know. Even if I trusted a person completely, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. I think I don't have. It takes a sadistic nature to want to close someone's airway off, I think. And I may be dominant and I may be, somewhat narcissistic, but I'm not sadistic. So I don't know if I could ever do that. I mean, if the person I was with was into it, because I've never done like I've never done the person outside of the relationship have a sub. Mine have always been the people that I'm with. I don't know if I mean they'd have to teach me, and that's a weird thought for me. Like, how do you go to someone who you trust and go, teach me how to choke you because I know you like it?
Oh, if they bring it on before, like I just said, so let's say Kadan said, thought, oh my god, I want to have some Danish on my face. She would know I was into that. Then she could go and say, I want to learn how to do this. But I don't see how you can bring. I learned through it because one of the doms, he asked me, can I choke you? And I was like, you can, first of all, you can just hold my neck and we can see how it goes.
Right.
And then it's like that helped and that made it better. And it's like, okay, try squeezing a little harder. So I can still talk, of course. And that's how that evolved. But I never
Is this how you developed low hawking?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
it is.
no, don't no. All right, it was just a thought. You don't have to. You don't have to do it. I don't want to. I don't want to die laughing on this stream.
No, it wouldn't fit the BDSM because that's only what bad fucking beer. I can't open this shit. Okay. And we're back. Sorry, I had to open a beer and it was being a petty little bitch. Thanks everyone for joining. So, Antoine, how long would you say you have been? I know you said you started early, but can you give us a round estimate? Like, when did you know that Dom was just yes?
21.
21.
21. I ended up going into some chat rooms and talking. I'm 21. I'm single for a little bit. Going into chat rooms online, and I ended up finding a chat room of Subdom, and they were talking about things that the girl and I had done, and I started making, I wouldn't say friends, but acquaintances, and we started trading notes, and someone went, "You're a Dom," and I went, "What do you mean?" And they explained to me what it was, and I went, "Oh yeah, I really like that." And they said, "Yeah, you're a Dom." So I ended up learning about, the different types of paddles, how to push things. I wouldn't say I was trained, like I'm all self-taught, but I think that has to do with the fact that I do it with the person that I'm with. So I don't have to learn a mass amount of things. I just have to learn what they like and what to push for them. So yeah, I'd say about 21. So going to be 37. Oh God, I'm going to be 37.
Oh my God.
Shut up.
You're old, fuck.
So yeah, 16 years.
That's a good bit. That's another thing. Like this developing the specifics, I would say, of your BDSM fetish. In again, I'm a sub. I can't dom for shit. I even when I dom a girl, it's pretty pathetic and bad because again, I get, you can say I get mad with power and I start to laugh like an insane person because I think I role play too much and go into the I am the Führer mode. I'm,
That's glorious.
let me point out for a second. All this, der Führer and Nazi shit I'm saying, it's just a joke. I'm not.
Sure.
I would love the. You see my avatar, the uniform I have on. I would fucking love to have that right now. And in general, that being said, okay, so you have to you practice it, not something. So it took me many years to understand just how much of a filthy pet I am.
So how did you get into pet play? Like, how did that even come about?
That's the funnest part. So part of it I cannot say. The other part is I watch a lot of porn, and it's like every time I watch porn, I wanted to watch something different, and I wanted to watch something more extreme. And then I found the Seagull to you as well, Frax. But then I found this perfect, the one that really got me to go, yes, where I knew I wanted this to happen to me. And then I started experimenting and I started trying out first the basic of getting just pure regularly getting bound to the 4 different bedposts. And that was fun, but I wanted more. And I was like, okay, can you slap me while I wanted more? Can you do this more? Can you flog me really hard? Okay, yes, perfect. It gets better. And it's like, okay, you're gonna have to treat me like shit now. Like I'm no better than your cat, but this cat is hot and you want to fuck it. And that's how that began. I started crawling around on the floor and I was like, oh, this is turning me on. And it's like, please just slap the shit out of me if I misbehave. And that's how that got rolling. It slowly developed over, I think, 7 years.
Wow.
Now, can you turn that off, though, is the question? Or is that, like, definitely your fetish? That's the only way that you can really
No,
go?
there's I have three main ways, two of which, no, all of which are ultimately connected. One of which I will not talk about, and the other one I will keep as a topic for another show.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I've had subs push me before to where, and I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm not saying I didn't like it, and I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. But I'm saying that I enjoyed it so much that I try and uh that I avoided it from that point forward because I'm like, shit, I don't know how far I would go. Like I almost I'm glad that I had the training that I did to where it was so ingrained in me to stop when I heard the safe word because I almost didn't stop.
Can I just can I hire you for a session?
Yeah.
Yes. My
I
life is
you,
perfect. I'm so
you have your list of what you want and what you need, and one of the things that um I look for in a sub is somebody who's not totally like, well, I don't know,
You can do
kind of
anything to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
can
I hate
I
that.
just want you to go ahead
I
and tell me like what to do, and then you tell me what you want to do to me and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, it's not about what I want to do to you, because the limits to what I want to do to a person can get exceedingly sadistic.
yes.
And
I had someone say, "Do whatever you want." No, you don't want me to do whatever I want, because I like I said, I enjoy the candles. I enjoy that burning sensation that it gives the sub. I said, if you
oh,
do
I
that,
love burning
I will take that cigarette that you're smoking and I will put it out in your nipple.
Oh, I
And
tried that. I went that far one time. I have scars you won't believe, and I regret
candles.
that. Is I knew okay, especially when the infection hit.
yeah,
That
it's
no,
not fun. There's that, and that's why I was happy that my current partner asked me what it was about instead of just saying, "So you tell people what to do." No, there's a lot
Yeah,
more
that's
to it than that. I push your limits. Don't tell me that do whatever you want, because I may not be sadistic, but I can think of some sadistic things to do.
like
And
I hate the people who say, "Oh, well, you just tell me what to do, right?" No, no, that's a giant misconception. You tell me what I'm supposed to get you to do, or what you want me to do to you. Like that is what's up. I am
yes,
that,
here
that-
to listen
I think
and to learn and to push if needed.
that's a general misconception. Is what the sub want is pre-planned. It's like an illusion of power that the dom tells them what to do. They have like basically a list for when you shop. I need these ingredients. I could go through this thing, but it's not random. It's usually not random. Most of the time, it's pre-planned to be the perfect because both people want to get off. You get off by the idea of the power, and the other get off by the idea of not having the power, even though they, in many cases, in my case specifically, they made the entire fucking list that the other person follows.
right. Well,
Yeah.
that's why I was the session that me and my partner had was a training session. It was literally finding out, because she had some ideas of what she wanted, but she asked me. I said, "Were there any questions?" She goes, "What are you going to do to me?" And we'd already discussed what she liked, and I said, "That's up to me to decide." So she knew what to expect. And when I told her about, like I said, when I told her about calling me sir or master, I knew for a fact, as soon as I said master, she started giggling. And I said, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily something, but it's a sign of respect and that you're giving yourself to me to do these things. It's you have to get into the mindset that I am going to be dominating you. And saying sir, which is fine, is showing that you are submitting to me.
Yes.
So as a training session, I needed to know exactly what she liked. So I didn't have any toys, so I got two hairbrushes. If I needed to get some, if my hand was not enough for spanking, I got something that I could do sensations of like nails dragging on skin, and I didn't get ice. I like using ice a lot, but I don't think she was ready for that yet.
Which
Um,
flavor?
oh, well, we don't have any flavored ice right now, but it would have just been the normal water flavor. Uh, but I did all of these basic things that you learn. Like I didn't do a feather or anything like that because we don't have any peacock feathers or anything. But I didn't do any of the major stuff. I just did, you know, what I could test to see if she liked it or not. And I even asked her after each smack, do you want me to do it harder? And I asked, I said, can you take more? And she said yes. At one point, my hand stung because I'd been out of practice for so long. And she said, you could have hit me harder. I was like, if I did go any harder, I was going to get the hairbrush. And she goes, I didn't even see the hairbrush. That's the point. So, there's a bunch of different things. I can do humiliation, but that I need to get into a mindset for. And that takes a little bit.
Yeah.
So, like say Lo-Fi, you decided to be my sub. It would take me a while to get into the mindset of humiliation for you. Again, because I don't like to hurt.
Okay, yeah, that's the point is you have to work towards that. It's not something even when two practiced people, a practiced dom and a practiced sub, mean you're not just throwing yourself into what one of them want instantly.
Yeah, that's definitely something that has to be, worked up to. So she thought I was going to, pull. I tested to see if she liked her hair pulled and, all this stuff. And she thought I was going to make her do a bunch of things. No, it's all about you, what you're willing to go through. So it's fun.
Sorry,
It's fun to teach. It's fun to teach them.
No, I read Trippy Poop's thing in the chat where he's like, karate chop that bitch in the neck.
No,
Don't do that.
no, don't do that.
That's like James Bond play right there. You just go up and slap them. Oh my god, I want to try that now. We have old school kung fu movie play.
So
Yes.
okay.
Oh my god.
Kadan, do you use
Yes.
the alligator clamps or do you use the normal nipple clamps when they ask for it?
When they asked for it, I actually had a couple because I would just go to Home Depot and clothespins, of course.
Yes.
They're really easy, really simple, and they're not a lot of pressure. And then one time I got those big like heavy duty clamps that are meant to like you
hold
pump it.
hold tops into place and shit.
Yes. I've gotten a set of those before because one of my subs was like really into getting clamped and he was complaining that it wasn't hard enough and I'm just like, well shit, let's fucking go, bro. Challenge accepted. And he was so happy. He was so incredibly happy. I actually had to get another set of the same kind of clamps, and he wanted me to use those to bind his wrists to the bedpost.
Wow. I've heard stories. Like I said, when I was in the chat room, I'd heard stories and I'd seen pictures and I was like, it takes a lot to get to that, doesn't it? Like you build up a resistance and then you start getting more and more and more extreme. God damn, those are some serious clamps. Like the worst I did is with my ex is I got regular alligator clamps. You know how they have the safe ones at the sex store where they have the padding and everything? No, I went and I got regular ones. And she said, "Put them on me."
Yeah,
I said,
you got
are you damn well sure? Because if these things pull off, your nipple comes off with it. And she said, "Do it." So I did it, and she went nuts. At first there's the pain, and then she went fucking nuts, and then afterwards, she was bleeding a little, but she enjoyed it, so that was something. The clamp, I think, it's the initial pain. I think is what they like, and it's just because after a while your skin just becomes desensitized to it, and it
starts being. But with the numbing sensation, like I found with the guy who I actually clamped his arms to the bedpost, with it, um, it made the rest of his arm so fucking sensitive. Like he was like shivering with every, like, it was just the lightest caress, like right there, like in the pit of the elbow,
See, you're giving
and
me
he's
ideas.
oh, it can like, and just watching him like, oh god, I miss him so much sometimes, but he moved
It sounds
business.
like it
Dude, he
sounds
was
like you're
he was
having a
such,
craving right now.
oh, you have no idea. Like, I need to go and like tie somebody up really fast and just have a little bit of fun, just a little bit, like just the slightest amount of fun where I tease the ever loving fuck out of him. Like that's one of my oh 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 sorry, got into memories, and I remember, and oh, I miss him so much. He was such a good sub. And then we would always like go out for dinner afterwards and some shit, cuz like I have this whole fucking like process before I even agree to dom for somebody, where it's like, all right, so we're gonna hang out, we're gonna go and get some coffee, we're gonna go and get some lunch, like, we're gonna go and do this stuff, and I'm gonna learn about you, and you're gonna learn about me, and you're gonna teach me about you, and let me get to know and understand.
Yes. Well, you have to get to know them. You have to, or else
Mhm.
they're
I
going to do
don't.
something you don't like, or you're going to do something they don't like, and it's just going to be horrible for both parties.
I
Yeah.
think that's like one of the main points is that I don't think many people who are not into it realize how much you have to actually trust the other person, like how much you have to get to know the other person, and how much that goes into it. I think a lot of people just, especially the people who thinks it's weird and creepy, they think it's just two random strangers who meet up and one of them beat the shit out of the other one, and then just, hey, I came. Oh, my consumption values are under fire.
Okay, the one that I don't get, and this is just me, is okay. Most DOMs are female. I will admit that, but the subs that want to have their nuts stepped on. Okay, I announced it publicly again on my last video. I'm bisexual. I had a partner that wanted me to punch him in the nuts, and I told him no, because I know what that feels like, and I can't do that to someone else. I don't understand that. I've seen someone have their nuts stepped on and spike heels, and I was like, "What the fuck is wrong? How do you get to that part? How do you get that far?"
Oh no.
I had a guy who wanted that from me too.
Okay.
Why? What
He
is
was
it?
he was the one who but he was the one who had like he was my first experience with knife play,
Oh, see, yeah,
and it was really
that's
really deep knife play. Like, again, it was to the I enjoyed it a lot, to the point where I wasn't sure if I could stop, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I had to stop. But he was asking me if I had stilettos because he wanted me to
See,
press the heel of my stiletto into his dick.
okay, so that here's the house in the house says it's all subjective. Yes, it is, and I think we found our limit. And staring at someone's balls with
Yes.
stiletto.
So Brockus has just joined the chat. How's it going, Brockus?
Hey,
Don't take
Brockus.
control, Anton. It's not your show. You might be a dom, but you're not doming me.
No, you'd like it if I don't do lo-fi. Trust me.
I think after what you said today, I might actually. I still want Kadant more, but that's a
Eh,
personal
well, yeah, that's a personal thing. I've seen
Oh.
Kadant's. I've seen Kadant's rack. That's
I
something you
have
want to
seen
see tied
Kadant
up in leather.
Well, Kadant, there's nothing. Okay, Kadant, I had a favor to ask from Trippy Poop. Please do your best maniacal laughter.
Oh shit! Hold on. You gotta make me laugh. You gotta trippy
Oh,
poop. Say something entertaining,
yeah, say
because
something fun while we talk.
my normal like fucking no holds bar laugh is fairly maniacal. Baracus, do you need to come over to the house and have me tie you up and flog you? He's having a shitty day.
You know
I'm
what?
in
I think
such a
I think he
mood
would
right
like the.
now.
I was to say I would think he'd like the flogging. Just
No,
that.
yeah, he does.
Just don't hit his shoulder right now.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
hit the soldier.
Oh, he'll
Sure.
cry like a little bitch. Smaggle says, "Walk it off, bitch." What? Instead of complaining.
But no, like one of the things is like, I don't. Brockus does like. I have a thumpy flog or thuddy, and if you are unsure of what that means, it means that instead of like the stinging effect when it hits you, it's just like it's heavy.
Yeah.
When it hits, it has a good thud, and that's my flogger, and I fucking love that thing. And Brockus, like I womped on Brockus before with it, and he was just like, wow, that actually feels really good. I'm like, because it's thuddy. Like the stingy is for the people who really like the pain. Like when you see people with the knotted ends on
Oh
their
yes.
floggers,
I
those
love
are
I loved using that one. Sorry that you're bringing back memories.
right.
So
Oh,
it
all the memories.
the stuff that comes back when you've I hadn't practiced in 9 years. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god,
It never
So
left,
Antoine,
but
this
yeah,
sounds
it's
so dominated. It's terrible.
well, my
so
current partner didn't know she was a sub until a few weeks ago. So
I'll slap the shit out of her. I'll
if
do
you
this my avatar
want.
again and again.
So 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 Antoine, what you're saying is I need to get you a flogger.
yes, my birthday is coming up in a few months. So yes, you can get me a flogger.
Oh my god, I know what my gift is. I'm gonna present myself on a plate.
Oh yes. Oh my god,
I
lo
would.
I wish I could tie you up.
I'm enjoying the thoughts of these presents.
Oh my
I
god.
need to announce my birthday more often for certain people.
It's my birthday and I like BDSM. Okay, here's a victim and a whip.
Yes, it's a victim in a flocker. Go for it. Oh, thank you. You are now my favorite person in the world.
Oh, lo-fi.
Yeah?
The pillow.
The body pillow that she's having of herself? I,
Hmm.
d- I don't want to flog the pillow. I want to flog the actual lo-fi.
Oh yeah, I
Well,
have
how are you gonna do that with her in whatever bumfuck
Dutchland.
Dutchland?
I think Czechoslovakia is the one I got today for a second.
Czechoslovakia.
Wow. It- I mean, things can be arranged. You know, all she has to do is put herself in a suitcase and ship her over here. That would work. Make sure she has an oxygen mask and some food and some
Why not? I
water.
like being choked, so why would I need the oxygen mask?
Well, because you don't want to die.
If I time it, I can fill it with like half oxygen and then time it. And then like 15 minutes before you find it, I'll just pass out. Please open it when you find it.
Open immediately when landing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I could set that on the crew thing, the people who drag it off, like throw it down. Don't use that stash shit. Throw it down. She likes that, and then just open it. If you can, maybe slap it and kick it a couple of times before you open it. That's fine.
just toss it down the ramp.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
No ramp. Fuck the ramp. Just drop it out of the plane.
So here's the thing. All you have to do is get
Whoa.
yourself some cat ears and a cattail butt plug, and we could
Oh, I
actually
saw
put you,
those.
and we could actually put you through as a pet.
Okay,
You know?
let me bring out some amazing news.
No,
My
Brockus, my birthday isn't in May.
I have a personal artist. I know I'm amazing. He's drawing bondage porn of me, and I got him to do cat porn. It's fucking amazing. Yes, I'm so turned on right now.
You have no idea. Like this is like, oh god, I'm just thinking of like all of these things. And all right, so one of the things that I've figured out about myself is I could probably go to be a switch. I've just yet to find somebody I could trust enough um to dom me, mostly because it's a thing. Trust is a major thing.
Yes.
And I don't know, like if I can't trust them to stop, like, calling me a stupid bitch, then I can't trust them enough to stop, like, I don't know, tying me up and teasing the ever loving fuck out of me. But I've been toying with the idea. I've been toying with the idea, and it's just finding the right person that if I can start off just having them tied up and blindfolded with my fingers running
Oh my
across
God, stop.
little parts of their body,
Stop.
every once in a while
Stop.
I
Please.
bring out a little
You
I have
you
my
do
little
realize
Tupperware.
that Lo-Fi is on the brink here. She's about. I
I
mean,
know.
she's about to slide right out of her chair.
Mm, mm.
I want to die.
I'm sorry, Lo. Hey, if
Oh
you
my God,
ever
oh God,
if
I
you
have
ever
so
come
many
down to
plans.
my neck of the woods, Lo, I
I'm
will
dying.
dome you.
Please.
See, this is why you need to come out and visit us, Lo-Fi.
I know. Oh my God, stop laughing. I will come. Stop. Please. I'm so. Oh my God.
Lo, all of the things, and I promise you, just bring me your list, and I will follow through with your list.
Oh my God.
And I'll even practice choking. I know, not to
You know,
choke.
I don't even smoke, but I'm
Okay.
gonna need a cigarette after this fucking
You know what
stream.
that's gonna. If you practice choking, it's gonna be first proper villains. Cell is missing. Second proper villains. Progress is missing. And then it's just me sitting alone and going, well. Yeah, she's ready.
Well, I've been practicing with one of my subs before because he liked to be choked, and he was pretty much teaching me how to do it the right way, which is the side of the neck versus the throat of the neck. It's cutting off
The
the
circulation
blood
to the jugular. Yeah,
versus the airway.
yeah.
And so I'd been practicing that, but like my hands are only so big. I got tiny hands.
That's why you use a belt. No, I'm kidding. Don't anyone use a belt. That was a joke. You'd never use a belt. Too many things could go wrong.
Yeah,
It was a
don't.
joke.
Autoerotic asphyxiation is a
Okay,
thing.
so
I
if
was
you want,
just kidding.
no. As a joke, if you want to choke someone, use your hands. Don't use anything, because if it can get stuck at
Yes,
one
it's
level,
bad.
that's death. That is at some point you're gonna fuck up, and that person is just fucking dead. Use your hands, because you can let go unless you're a psychopath. Then don't use your hands. Just go to jail.
Yeah.
I
See,
just turned myself off.
So I didn't. Okay, my current partner had no idea about my past history when she decided to bring out the fuzzy cuffs. Except she didn't want to use them. She didn't want me to use them on her. She wanted to use them on me, and it was I wasn't expecting it, and I don't think I've ever freaked out like that before. Like I couldn't give in to the sub thing, and that even just she handcuffed one wrist, and I was like, nope, we're done. I'm not.
Mhm.
That's something I haven't even considered. It's really not me. But if you're, I mean, there are some. I've talked to a few that do go both ways. It's and we're not talking both ways, men and women, because most people do that now any day. But they do go both ways. It just depends on how they're feeling, if they want that release or if they want to control the release. So it's always fun. If you do
Yeah,
it right,
it's
it's always fun.
like I've become more accustomed and more secure in what I do and don't like for myself. I don't like pain on myself. I don't like choking. Um, I don't like getting struck. Like that's a thing. And I know a lot of DOMs, you know, they won't they won't mess with a sub like me. Like
Right.
if I chose to be a sub, they wouldn't mess with me because they're just like, well, you're limiting my options. I'm like, no, I'm not. I do sensations play. I don't necessarily hit or strike people or choke people or do painful things to people. Like why and that's probably where like the idea me toying with the idea of trying to be a sub or I should say be a verse, a switch came from, is the fact that like the stuff that I'm doing that I do is stuff that I'd be okay with happening to me.
Oh yeah, you want to experience it.
Okay, can I just read something trippy poop?
Yes, please read it. It was
Oh,
hilarious.
trippy.
He wrote to Bruni. I did rape play once, but it turns out she wasn't playing.
God damn it, trippy. Yes, Zell, trippy.
It's
Shit.
fucking amazing. You have so earned that wrench back, you amazing boy.
Complete with cops being called. God damn it, trippy.
Fucking hell. Trippy, you slap in public and you rape people. What's not to want about you? Send me a picture of your dick.
Yes, for anybody wondering, Lo-Fi needs dick pictures. She's compiling a list.
And a
Yes.
book. It's
And a
going. It's
book.
going to
And a
be. It's
book.
going to be a coffee table book that you can just put out there, and it's supposed to go along with Bad Dragons. You know, you
It's
put
called People Who Send Pic Dicks. Pic Dicks. I think I'm
Yes.
drinking too much. And dick pics to Lo-Fi.
Yes, all the dick pics to Lo-Fi. Me, I love necks. I am a giant fan of the sternocleidomastoid. If you
If you
don't
don't
know,
know, it's the
go
one
look it
running
up.
down each side of the neck, like.
Uh,
See, for
And-
me,
and-
it's stomachs. I love
Kadan
stomachs.
did turn me on to that neck thing a lot.
I know, right? Like,
Yeah.
Necks can be very sexy, very sexy, especially
on
with the erogenous
sexy.
areas.
Oh my
like
god,
all
sexy.
I just want to put my mouth on them. Like,
Bragas, send me a picture of your say the name. Kadan.
what? What is
The
the
neck
name?
name. The sterno.
Sternocleidomastoid?
Yeah, Bragas sent me that pic right now.
Brockus, do the thing. Zell, do the
Yes,
thing.
thank you.
AW, do the thing. Stan Ult, do the thing. Trippy Poop, do the thing. Send Lo-Fi dick pics and neck pics.
Yes. Just send me pics of everything. Your body. I want it.
Yes.
Oh god, I inhaled my cigarette right as you told me to send you a pic of my dick. Now I taste blood, so thanks. You're welcome, Trippy Poo. Anytime. If you want to taste blood, you're welcome to bite me that hard.
Oh,
Oh, biting is fun.
fuck, I
It
love
is-
bite.
I
Except-
give amazing hickeys.
Okay, here's personal detail even more. I cannot use nipple clamps, and I cannot use that because my nipples are the most insanely sensitive area. If you
Same.
flick my nipple, I die. I just lie there. I'm dead. That's nothing to do. It is all my sensories are in my nipples. That's nothing to do. I'm dead.
Dude, no, it's the same for me though. Like that's a thing. Like I don't know what it is, but my nipples are like I wear padded bras because I don't have a lot of breasts, so I wear the padded ones. And even through the padding, every once in a while, if I'm just cold enough or if I'm just turned on enough and my nipples are popping just a little, a graze against and I can feel it through the padding and I just kind of shiver and melt a little and I'm like, fuck. Like, oh god. And biting. Oh god, biting. I love to bite and I try not to bite too hard because I try to be very cognizant of like, no, not hurting, like this is just pleasure, but I get this urge to just clamp my jaws down and sink my teeth in and rend the flesh and I have to and I calm myself. I have to calm
Stop.
myself
Oh my
from
god.
from thinking of such things. God, you want me to bite you, Lo? I'll bite
Yes.
you.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Oh god.
Yep, I'm going to need a cigarette after this. So it's I love biting.
Oh, and the secret to leaving hickeys, by the way, people, use your tongue. You gotta swirl that tongue a little. against the flesh and
Oh,
nibbling and
it makes it
biting
it makes it so much better for them.
right? Like, oh
Oh,
gosh.
look at this. I'm offering Sol sexy pictures in chat, and he goes, no, I got enough. Who wants this sexy picture? I'm gonna send to Sol.
Please,
Fuck that
Lo-Fi,
guy.
send them to me. I will take them all day long. Then I know what. Then I can actually see what I'm going to have to be tying up.
That is true.
Mm.
No. Yeah, maybe. I'll think about it. I'm so tired. I can't concentrate. Can't. You have ruined me.
I know. I'm sorry.
God, I
can't
love
help
you so
it.
much.
So
Oh my
is
God.
it is I guess we should end because I think we all might need a cigarette after
I
this.
was going to say, I think Lo-Fi has popped at least like twice so far, if
I
not
have
more.
Primal
I have so many
blue
glass bottles.
col
I'm gonna
blue
try stuff.
collar Canuck. Blue collar Canuck.
Blue,
I'm not
co-
sick.
blue
Yeah, blue
collar Canuck. Lo-fi
Canuck.
primal play.
Primal play.
Do what is that? Do I pretend to be a dinosaur?
Yeah.
You bring your arms in close and you pretend to be a T-Rex and try and grab at him with your hands.
I can't say this.
You just start screeching.
I don't know what. I don't know what a dinosaur says. Okay. What's primal play, Kadant?
I actually don't know.
I
I've
cave
never
I
had
don't
to
either.
do anything
Are you
called
gonna slap me in the face with a club and drag me to your cave to rape me? I would not.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be against that if I bring.
Oh, animal cat play. Okay, so
Oh,
like pet play.
yeah. So what I do, or in yeah, okay, that's what I do. So no issue, Blue. Bring it. Bring your cock and your weapons.
Ooh, American Phoenix, blood and bondage leather, taste,
Two-
two great tastes that taste great together. Yes.
Agreed.
I think the blood is somewhere else than your brain right now, Kadant.
Yeah, no, I am
I
moist.
mentally passed out a while ago.
I love the taste of blood. I'm a sick fuck.
Okay.
That brings up the whole vampire rope play thing.
No, that's tough though because some people they take it so far. It
Oh
gets,
yeah.
it gets cringy.
Some
Where you
people
go?
actually confuse me and they always think that I like the vampire play because I have a thing for necks and I do like blood. I'm like, no, but I'm not a fucking vampire. Like I can't no, that's not my thing. I have an obsession with good fucking necks and I have an obsession, well, not an obsession, but I have an appreciation for blood.
Okay, so
Everything has its place and every place has its thing.
keep this going. I'm gonna go pee and then we're gonna give it 15 minutes more before we close. Be right back.
Oh,
Okay.
that sounds good. Oh
Now
god,
the
I'm
question
in
is, are we
Newdale.
sure she's just going to go pee?
I think it's about squick time for her. Like, I'm just saying. And when she gets back, I'm going to make it even more difficult. I'm going to start saying some dirty things.
Oh,
Tell Antoine he's a penis. You're a penis, Antoine.
thank you, Brockus. He's just jealous you're going to get me a flogger for my birthday.
Well, I would get him, but I'd say he's definitely more of a sub. And I'm not saying I'm going to get you one, but I'll look into getting you one.
If I
I
have to pay for it, I will.
I'll
Okay,
get
so
you
you were talking about the thunkers, I think you called them. I've never used one before.
thumpies.
Thumpies. I've never used one before. What's it?
Really?
Yeah, I've always done because, like I said, I deal with the pain aspect of it. I remember all of this stuff that I've done is from learning about it by myself, sometimes testing things on myself so I know how far to go, and just kind of experimentation on my own. So there's some things that I didn't even know existed.
I'm
So
back.
Okay.
what
Welcome back.
is it just like a? We're not talking like a fucking police baton, right? We're talking about soft
No,
leather.
no, it's a
but
flogger.
solid.
It's a flogger. One of like the best ones that I'd had like the pleasure to hold was it had deer hide,
Oh,
and it was glorious. It's a softer leather, definitely softer leather, and heavy. Soft but heavy. Like that's the thing. It has to be like the right balance. All floggers have to have the right balance.
right.
But like this, like it was the leather. You know what? We should hang out one day, and I will bring my thumpy, and you can go ahead and just feel it out and try it out. Not on me, of course.
No,
Okay.
I told you I experimented with a lot of stuff on myself, so you could use it on me. But not to the whole. Like I said, I'm very much into the control thing, but I'd rather know what it feels like than
Hmm.
because then I know what I can do with it. I'm a very visceral learner. I learn through hands-on experience and things like that. So
Yeah,
I'm
like the way that
it's
I
fun for
tested
me.
the way that I had tested mine out, and like anytime I'm looking at a flogger, I always check the balance between the handle and the actual, I guess tails is the best way to put it. But I always check the balance between that, and then I will start hitting it against my forearm, just to see like is it thuddy or is it stingy. Ooh, American Phoenix is making elk hide floggers.
What?
Oh,
No.
yes.
Oh my god. AP?
Oh, Buffalo is good. Buffalo is
Please.
good too.
AP. Also, AP, when you shoot an elk, you have to, if they have horns, can you like make me a toy out of that?
How did I know that question was coming?
Because I ask everyone. I have
Well,
no shame.
one of my favorite things, like one of the things that I wanted to get, I should say, it was, I think it was deer, but it was a deer horn flogger. It was the horn with the hide.
Sounds fun. Well,
Yeah.
if it sounds fun to me, I usually think it'll be fun for the people I'm with, which is why I don't get into too much of the extreme things. It's like the cat of nine tails, the ones that the people put like the
That's the
little
best
knot.
one.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about the ones that who are like I want you to put something solid at the end of it, like metal or something like that. I can't do
Oh,
that.
okay. That's then we go into the religious
Yeah,
fervor thing where you flog yourself because for God.
yeah.
And I'm only into flogging myself for God before going to war.
But I've had talking in the chat rooms with some subs. They were like, "Yeah, I want if we ever met, I want you to do that to me." And I was like, "That's never happening. I'm not gonna hurt somebody." And then they stopped talking to me. So apparently, I
And for,
wasn't what they were looking for. What?
and for if you want to do anything to me, you're gonna have to hurt me a little bit.
I I already told you I'm okay with causing pain. There's a difference between pain and hurt.
Oh, I want physical abuse. No, I respect that, and that is what I want.
So I will cause pain on you all day long if you want.
Perfect.
So
Destroy me.
Uh,
I would
oh,
see. This is
hello.
why.
I will destroy. I will fucking end you. You have no idea. I
Okay,
will be.
okay. There's no one I rather want to be with than Canon and everyone. I tried
I'm
to get out of it, and I'm just
I'm going
stuck
to.
in feeling of moist, and I every
I'm going to put
every orifice
myself
I have is
open. I will practice some shibari just for you.
God damn it.
Then I will tie you up and tease you
Have you
and
seen?
drive
You
you
know when they in the
fucking
X-Men
insane.
movie they give the president the X gene so he turns into a mutant and he melts into water? That's me right now. That's how
I can-
moist I am.
Opal!
Hey,
Oh
Opal.
my god. You could drown a toddler in your panties.
Yeah, I could. I already did. I just went out and
That's
brought down the family.
I told you that's why she
Look,
was
I
acting
just
like it wasn't to
I
go to the
slapped my
bathroom.
downstairs to the mail slit in the door, and I just drowned the entire house. Stay there now. There's nothing to do. That's I did.
Oh,
It's kind of hard to compete with Kadant's very, very sultry and sexy voice.
you know, I
Ah,
did never
okay.
realize, like, I always thought my voice was annoying because I think I'm annoying. And I never realized, like, that I had a good voice until, like, people started telling me, oh, you have a good voice. I'm like, I do. Thanks.
Well,
That's
it's
cool.
the same thing with me. That's why I started. When I first started getting popular, the most compliments I got were about my voice. So it's I'm not gonna lie, it's a very attractive voice. It's something that you want to have whispered into your ear when you know something's about to go down.
I'm going to fucking end you so hard.
Stop. Cut. No. I hit my tires so I could concentrate. No,
Sweet
Awful, your voice is not
nothings.
annoying. It's just because you never shut the fuck up.
I'll whisper sweet nothings into your ear
That's
as
the
I
best
pull your
nothings.
hair
Because sweet
and
nothings
spank
means
you
okay,
and
so
then threaten to fucking
let me
end
talk
your
about hair
life.
pulling for a second. That's perfect because I don't have
Oh
those
god.
senses in my. I don't feel the pain. You can take my hair and you can just tie it to a truck and you can drive off and I feel no pain. I, I'm, not, I'm not kidding.
I just imagine this truck driving by a lo-fi waving behind it because it
As
has
she's smiling happily.
I,
You just hear
I,
Lo-Fi go wee.
I'm not kidding. I don't. You can take my hair. You can. There's nothing you can do that would make me feel pain up there or at all.
Yeah,
Then
I mean,
maybe I'm perfect for primal play. You could slap me in my head with a mace, and I would just that is a club. That's perfect. I wouldn't feel it. I just go, cheers. Yes, I'll pretend to be passed out.
See, for me, like you have to grab my hair just right. Like you have to slide your hands up like the back of my neck through the base of my skull and then grab like right there and then I'm good. But if you try and pull my hair in any other way, then I'm just like, okay, this isn't
you're
that's
gonna. I'm gonna keep it up. I'm gonna turn around and deck you. That
yeah.
kind of thing. Yes,
Like I won't even turn around. Like if you got a dick, like guess what? You're behind me and where my feet can go behind me as well.
uh, there's a skill to hair pulling. You can't just grab the ends of it and yank. That's not. Don't you have to get the base. You have to get good grip, and when that
Mhm.
happens, it's usually really good. And if you, God, I need a cigarette.
Yeah. Oh god, just thinking. Oh fucking. And then you got me started thinking on voices too, because we know some people with some really good voices, like Brockus. Even though all you guys get to hear is like his loud, like orcish, like brah, he can get like a really good, deep, like rumbling voice that kind of like enters straight to your loins, and makes me
No,
makes me go, ooh.
there's multiple reasons that I made a specific what you call it, goal with Brockus. Then when I go to where you are,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna fall over and just spread my ass for him to just
I mean,
take me to Browntown. Holy shit.
dude, just Brockus will pull your hair as he's doing it, and then
Oh my god.
he can always just bend forward
And the
as he
best part.
enters you and
Stop.
whispers in that deep, like
Stop.
that deep rumbling voice.
Halt.
Big,
Halt,
deep
Hammerside. Nein. Please. Okay. So what I'm gonna need Brockus to do, right? Is if he can do
Mhm.
that, what you just said, just
Yeah.
slap the shit out of my ass while he's ooh. Yes, sir.
Oh no, like it's Jesus, like just thinking of the fucking like one of the hottest things a guy can do is growl. Like just growl for me.
Oh my god, I've got a ground for you. So it's no tomorrow.
I've come to find out that purring is a good one too. It's a lot of growling, and none of it was coming from me. But I say I'll get you next time, Gadget. Somebody,
I'll
please.
get you next time, Gadget.
If it's the last thing I do.
Yes, Gadget. Step into my trap.
That actually hurt my throat a little.
Listen, I've done too much. I have many weird kinks.
Oh yeah, no, Stan. It's definitely I smoke.
I did smoke. I grew my own.
Mm.
Fucking amazing.
It's
That might actually explain my voice.
growling.
Yeah.
I do like. I've known. I can purr. I don't know about growling full on, but I know purring.
Okay,
usually
please
works.
purr. Break it.
Oh, I purr naturally sometimes.
Okay, both of you. Okay, I'm gonna start Antoine now. Wow.
Oh, who's a good boy?
Depressing,
Oh, he's a good
Gadget.
kitties.
Epic. Okay, and Kadant.
Antoine is
act-
better.
Yeah, I have to give it to Antoine.
Yeah, no,
Antoine.
I would give that to Antoine too. Like, I'm just saying, like, I do purr.
I
like,
made Schmeckle come off of mute.
yes.
No,
You made
did not make
Schmeckle
me
come.
off of mute. Brockus and Zell having a fucking domestic in the chat made me come off of mute.
Oh,
The two of you know you love each other. Fucking make
Babies.
up.
That is true.
babies,
you
don't
do.
it.
Finger each
Honey's,
other.
no. Yeah.
We can make next episode Sal and Brockus finger each other while we talk.
Well, we do have to get them back into the wedding plans that were made. So
No.
Fucking Zell, you need to realize that Brockus is a sensitive human being with feelings just like you. And Brockus, you need to realize that Zell is a fucking cunt who will say mean things just like you.
you're a match made in heaven.
You're not too different.
Or
There
hell.
aren't even differences to overcome. Just
Boys.
fuck each other and get over it.
I love you both. And Brockus, if you want, I'll go and smack Cell for you. And if the next time you're over, I will bury your face in my tits.
Also, Brockus, if you want, I'll go fuck Sal for you. He'll hate it. I would love it. It's fucking amazing.
Bruni wants to know what do we think of rape play. I think I've touched on my answer to that.
I don't touch it.
No, too much. It is too much. A little too far. Because if you want to hit the level where I would agree to rape play, it wouldn't be rape play anymore. Because I would know too much, and then where's the rape in that? Sal is a selfish piece of shit who pretends to be so fucking cool online, but really a broken little bitch who would cry out if you call him on his faggotry.
God
Okay,
damn
you-
it, Brockus. All right,
God,
there
you-
goes my offer to bury your face in my tits. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, I the salinity level is high.
Are we in the
Like,
Dead
what
Sea?
the fuck happened?
I think we took a trip to the Dead Sea. That's what I think.
I'm thinking at this point. I know you guys were gonna wrap up, but if Zell and Brockus
Yeah.
would both like to pop on here, I'd
Yeah, send
certainly
the
like
links.
to. I am still the fucking top guy. One of you send links.
Gonna
I
send
don't
the
do the
fuck.
fucking lackey work.
Yes, sir.
Fuck you.
Yes, Master Schmeckle.
The fuck you think I am? Failure accomplished.
Shots fired.
Pew pew.
It's terrible when I go to me and Brock's Twitter. It's just 75 pictures of dicks and 1 picture of my boobs. He's hungry.
Mm.
Brockus is saying no, Zell's saying yes. Brockus, I can almost promise
Brockus, get on right now, you
Brockus.
fucking whore.
Brockus.
Get on here. You got your ex-girlfriend here to back you up. You got some foreigner. You got whatever Antoine is.
Possibly British.
Come
Maybe
on.
not.
Come on, Brockus. Be a good
Come
boy.
on.
Come here, Brockus.
please,
I
please.
swear to God, this will not be blood sports. We will build a fucking bridge here.
Yeah.
Before you motherfuckers burn it down.
We'll have a
Brockus.
proper debate before one of you starts crying and calling the other a grown-up big adult boy now.
Yeah, Brockus. I need you to come here for me.
Brockus, please.
Can't you come for us, Brockus?
Come in me.
Yeah.
No, if he doesn't want to come on, I can understand it. But Brockus, I promise you, 100%.
You're getting worse than Wrath.
Well,
You're worse than
well, still-
Wrath.
Oh, don't call him that. Don't call him that.
Accio. Hormunculus is Antoine.
Oh, Akio, you're only jealous because I won't use my talents on you.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, he does have a voice. We've been talking about voices.
Oh, Accio does have a really. He's got that fucking accent.
Oh, he has that wee pet action.
Just
Nobody
that-
can
just
quite
a
copy
little-
him.
You're
He
doing
wonders-
the Irish, but he's
Yeah,
wonders-
no, that's how I fall back to when I try. I can't help it.
He wonders why I'm upset at him not talking to me on Discord anymore. Now he knows why.
Ooh.
Because Akio turns everyone on when he speaks.
Ooh.
And then you see a picture of his dick and you go, I would let that slap me.
All I saw was the hot dog.
Yes,
The
it
hot dog bun with the whipped cream on it.
I thought it was supposed to be a eclair.
I thought
I
so
have
as
no
well.
idea.
I was like,
I
that's
don't know.
okay.
It looked like a hot dog bun to me. I'm
took
American.
me-
I don't know shit.
It took me a week to
Man,
What?
what the fuck
Hey,
happened
Sal.
yesterday?
Okay.
The two of you were friends.
Okay, yeah.
Zell, say
All
it in
right,
a
all right,
sexy
wait,
voice. You're on the sexy stream. You be
Okay,
sexy.
so
There we go.
what happened was,
Oh, please. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
does anybody
No,
want to
Sounds
dance?
Sexy to you, Zell.
I'm gonna
Do
have
you want to
dance.
dance?
Dance.
And you wonder that's your sexy, and you wonder why you're single.
He doesn't.
I'm not.
No.
I have
Look.
plenty of boyfriends.
He's
It's
actually
just
single
from-
by choice. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, okay. So Cell sent pictures tonight, right? I saw his more face pictures, right? He's so fucking hot.
I've seen what Zell looks like. He is a very attractive man.
He is so
He's a very
attractive, and he just
Okay, but
doesn't realize.
Brock is saying what he said in the chat. It opened up all the floodgates.
Oh,
Schmeckle,
what?
I like
what-
you, so you don't know enough about our decade-long friendship, okay? Kadunt knows enough to back me up here. Maybe
what was
Antoine.
it?
What?
Start
I'm
at the
telling
start. What was
Okay,
it? that
I'm
you
Megan-
telling you.
Smack
That-
I'm telling you what's going down. Brock has had a bad day today. I dropped by his house to be nice and like we can go out, hang out, stuff like that. I have my car in gear when he goes to get into my car because it's funny. We do that joke sometimes where like sometimes we'll drive a little bit and like you can't get in, but you can. He gets upset and he goes, "I'll go back into my house if you keep being mean because I'm having a bad day." And then as a joke, I said, "We'll do it." And he walks back into his house and has a tantrum fit. And so then I go back
Yeah.
home and go, "What the fuck? I just wasted that gas for him. I thought we were gonna hang out." And then I'm joking with him in the chat, even compliment him a few times. He doesn't see that shit, but then starts to throw a bigger tirade. What he does is he gets into these fucking tantrums, and then he decides to pull everybody. Just doesn't have to be me. He'll even pull like Kadunt's portfolio of shit if she gets on his bad side enough. He'll pull everyone's portfolio of shit and try to grind them into the fucking ground.
Explain the term portfolio of shit.
Their resume, what they're going through, if whatever personal thing you're going through, then he'll just start using that. Like when he gets bad, and it goes from pouting to hate, like nasty fucking words. And if he wants to open up in the comments like that, then all right, let's talk about this.
To be honest, I think this is a really dumb fight.
It's fucking
It really
dumb,
is.
right? It is.
I think it's dumb on both sides.
Welcome to our friendship.
Well, yeah, dumb on both sides would explain your friendship just because of the two of you. But this is particularly stupid.
It's really stupid.
I mean, I only have your side here. But if he did, freak out because he was having a bad day, yeah, fucking dumb. But it happens.
Oh, it happens, yeah. Except with Brockus, it happens a lot.
Oh, okay, so
am I wrong there? Am I wrong, Kadunt? Am I wrong?
Okay, can I say something? I'm Danish. I live far away.
It's
even I speak
Dutch. Lo-fi.
Speak your speech, Lo-fi.
I think she dropped out.
Dutch internet
No,
must have
she's fucking Norwegians.
Maybe he go a little bit too much on tangents, even for me who lives halfway across the globe from you guys, and he might.
Yeah, Lo-fi. The short time she's known Brockus has experienced one of his. What would you call them? I don't know. Tantrums.
More than one.
More than one. So I'm a very neurotic guy because this is my best friend. I do love the guy. Call me insane for still wanting to be his best friend. But if he's gonna open this up publicly right now, he ain't climbing that fucking ladder without getting dirty. We ain't doing that shit. We're keeping Love Your Mondays clean. He can yell at me in DMs with personal things.
Yeah, as far as the personal shit goes, it's probably something that should have stayed between you. It kind of blew up in the chat between the two of you.
Yeah, we all get teased all the fucking time. It's just we have to like somehow know, and there's a lot of them. We have to somehow know whenever Brockus has a bad day, that's the day that we can't do the thing that he does to everyone else, that we all do to each other. We're all harsh on each other. If Brockus had looked in my eyes with that beautiful glare in them, and if we just like synced up souls in that moment, and he was like, I'm seriously having a bad day, he knows that I would have like been like, okay, man, let's try and have, but it was so quick. He went into his tantrum mode. I was like, all right, fuck you.
Okay.
He's in the chat. He says, I'm in pain, you fucking faggot. I can't get painkillers to help. I couldn't get anything more than 2 hours of sleep, and my hours got reduced again.
Okay,
it seems like he does have legitimate reasons to be bothered.
No, let me bring you this.
Brockus is saying
all the time.
Brockus is saying thanks for spreading misinformation. I saw 0 compliments. I pointed out how I'm having a shitty day.
Okay, okay. I have surgery for something internal in a year that's causing me physical pain and mental pain every fucking day. And I'm not complaining. Stop complaining. Stop crying. I'll still fuck you. Just stop.
It's definitely unreasonable to take that shit out on somebody else.
Yeah, just we know, Brockus, we love you, and
yeah,
especially Zell, who knows you for a long time.
I think also going on a public tirade against somebody you call your best friend. Yeah, he did call you out first, but you've said a lot of things just in this stream that
don't do that. Well, you know exactly why you've invited me. I heard on this.
I was
them on here.
Get both of you on here.
What have I said that's so personal, except for going to pick up a friend, Schmeckle? No.
I'm not saying,
guys.
No, I'm not saying you've gone too far or anything. I'm just saying, you've said you still think of the guy as your best friend. If you want to keep it that way, this perhaps isn't the way to go about it.
Well, then don't send the invite. Oh, there we go.
There we are. Now we can have an adult discussion.
Are you sure
All
that's
right,
what's gonna
guys.
happen?
No,
The two
I
of
will
you are
fucking, I will
by
fucking
definition,
mute.
it is an adult
I will
discussion.
Okay.
fucking mute every single
Stop.
one of you. Just go. Just talk about this
One at a
like
time.
fucking adults.
Okay, I will
Christ's
start
sake.
by saying a really. I've seen this in some group therapy sessions. I'll start by saying a very positive thing about Brockus. Brockus, you are a very sexy, strong man, and I love your knowledge about comic books. It gets me hard. Is
Brockus.
that better?
Can you ever take anything remotely serious? Like I told you that I've been having legitimate fucking problems lately. I have been having a lot of fucking problems lately.
Yeah, we
The other
all
night
have.
the other night when I was talking about, you know, how you were basically having issues and stuff like that, I'm not
Yeah.
joking. For the last couple of weeks, I have seriously been contemplating suicide a great deal. Okay? Everything is just getting worse and worse for me, and it's not getting any fucking
Social media
better.
isn't the
And I
answer.
didn't want to actually release any of this on fucking line, but you just kept ripping into me on the fucking chat. And I
No,
don't know.
you wouldn't put your fucking phone down. Put social media down.
I was just
suffer from
fucking
similar
around with
things.
Trippy Poop.
No,
I was
when I
fucking
go
around with
through the
Trippy
same
Poop,
shit, I put
and
my
you
fucking
decided to
phone
fucking
down.
shit on me.
No, when I go through the same shit, I put my fucking phone down. Don't blame that on anybody else.
I
Don't
was
take that
watching and
fucking
supporting
road.
my fucking
And you
friends
know at any
excuse the shit
time,
out of me.
Kadunt and I will have you over at the house if you're having that bad a day. You know that. Don't start with this shit. This is what I mean by laying on swords. It's fucking lame.
Am I asking for you to lay on swords, or am I asking
No,
you to
you
just
are.
be a little more
You
fucking
are.
sympathetic? I'm not trying to lay on swords.
Yeah. And it's fucking pathetic. And I love
I'm
you and I want you
trying
to
to
knock your
find
shit
a
off.
fucking way to not want to actually hurt myself, to not actually want to drive myself to that fucking point, because I've come very close in the past and I've actually walked away from
Christ.
it. I just want to walk away from it this time. I've been having a lot of fucking problems. The
This
pain in
had
my
to
shoulder
happen on
has been making...
Lo-Fi's channel too, or Lo-Fi's show.
Fine, whatever.
Oh,
No, it's
Jesus.
fine. Keep it on, guys. You're friends. You can fight this out if you want to. That's fine.
God.
I love both
No,
of you.
apparently they
here's,
don't.
Here's
No.
what we're gonna do. Lo-Fi, Kadunt, usually I'm gonna leave it up to you. We're gonna
end it
end the
now.
show at this
Again,
point.
we can talk about it and hang out afterwards. This is not
Here, let me-
representative of Not Safe for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Let's just say that
And
right
I'm gonna
now.
hit up Broggies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
we're gonna let them have this conversation without an audience.
Yeah, talk to
Uh,
Sel.
Thank you.
Brockus.
Everybody for coming and
Thanks,
listening to us.
Y'all my niggas.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about the end
we-
show.
We had Antoine, the proper villain. You can always check out his content on Help for the Guildless or follow him on Twitter at Colespire. You can also follow me and Lo-Fi on Twitter as well. I don't know Lo-Fi if Lo-Fi fucks around with YouTube content. I post bullshit whenever I'm in the fucking mood to
I
post
post
bullshit.
bullshit whenever I'm in the fucking mood. I'm gonna make a series of We Was Kings too, because I have degrees in what they try to counter. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna make a series on that.
Yeah, and we had Zell pop in for a moment to be Zell, and we had Brockus to pop in for a moment, and we had Schmeckel with us, our King Hunt. So feel free to catch us on a hopefully less salty, not safe for Wednesday.
Gotta get them views.
Yes.
Yes, please.
The ending is not representative of